kind of get tired of being tired, but certainly a disappointing day for us on Saturday. The one thing that I will say is I think our kids competed. I think they played very hard. We had a couple situations that didn't go our way in terms of one certain situation where, we had a lack of communications, not a lack, but we busted a call, and in terms of getting it in, and that one play made a difference, but there were other plays. But I thought our team played hard. Certainly there's some things here that we can build on, some things that we can learn from, and that's what we got to do. We got to move on and get ready for this Saturday. So I'll start taking questions now.
Yeah, Chief, what's your take on Bo Nix, true freshman? He's had some, we're obviously really good plays, had some freshman mistakes, pretty rough game at Florida. What's your take on him?
I think he's a very talented guy. Obviously, dual threat. He can beat you throwing, he can beat you running. He's a guy that, you've got to account for in this offense, and their staff has done a good job preparing him to be ready to play in the SEC.
Coach, I know you guys were crowding it more at the end, some bear front. Did you ever think, just make this guy beat you with the pass and basically goal line him? I mean, with the success he was having running?
We did a good bit of that, throughout the game. And, 65 or 70 yards came on, the last drive when we went out there, and I don't think we were mentally prepared to go back out there, but, that's part of it, and, he made a few throws in the game that were plays that made the offense stay on the field, made our defense stay on the field, and he also had some runs in passing situations that you got to be able to make those plays defensively, and we were not.
Yeah, Chief, I had a couple. I saw Soley, I guess he got that boxing glove or whatever wrap off his hand. How'd you think he played with that, without that?
Well, it's the first time that he's been able really to grasp with that hand, but I thought he did a good job. I think he's going to only get better and better, and we need for him to. But in what I saw, there wasn't a lot of difference having it on or having it off, because again, that's the first time he was able to really grasp somebody and try to use that hand. And like I said, he's going to only get better and better.
And Chad was just talking about how obviously you got some talented young defensive backs, but you don't want to play them before they're ready and hurt their confidence, because that could really set them back. Kind of, what's the line you got to walk? You'd like to play them and provide some depth, but also you don't want to play them before they're ready.
Yeah.
What's the what's the deal there?
Well, we're trying to get them ready, and we owe it to this team and each player to get them ready. And sure, Coach is exactly right. I've seen guys that have been thrown out there, and I'll use this as an example. Last year we had to throw Bumper Pool out there before he was ready. He withstood the season that way. You see a much better player in Bumper Pool this year. At linebacker, you can get by with some of those mistakes, but when you're on the back end, mistakes usually cost touchdowns. And so you got to be careful. We need to continue to push the envelope, and we're going to try to do that to try to get them ready. And we got one or two guys we want to get in the game, and we were hoping that we'd be able to get them in this game. This game turned out being a different type game than we anticipated 3 weeks ago, and so we went with more experienced guys, and I think that was the right thing to do.
Coach, with McClure moving on, leaving the team, who's the next man up for his role?
Who's that now?
Who's next up for his role? Who do you look to fill his void?
Hayden Henry has been there, will be there. If we have to go to a 3 linebacker scheme, then Deion Edwards, Grant Morgan, who can play out there, Zach Zemos, who we got to get ready to play. We've been working and working and working. So, he's going to have to play to get better. So that's kind of where we are. we got 3 or 4 answers there.
Coach, you mentioned Bumper Pool. He looked like he was just on, another level on Saturday. He was playing very, very hard. Just your thoughts on him.
Well, I think, probably played his best game to this point, and there's more to come. He's a very talented young man, and, we certainly expect him to continue to get better and better, and, he wanted it, and he played that way. He played very passionate, made a lot of plays, and, it would have been a lot better if we win the football game, but I was still excited for him to see him play as well as he did.
When you're looking at a Gus Malzahn team, what are the things you prepare for? What do they want to do?
Well, what they want to do, they're going to go back and look at things that they've hurt you with before, and that could be a lot of different things. But obviously, they've got some talent. They got some speed. A couple of the fastest guys in the nation, and you're going to see a bunch of deep balls. You're going to see, speed sweeps. You're going to see reverses. You're going to see throwbacks. So you got to prepare for almost everything. The screen game is a big part of what they do, and like I said, they intend to use those receivers that they have in terms of pushing the ball down the field, and then they're going to run the football. They're going to run the inside zone. They're going to run the bluff zone, and when I'm talking about bluff zone, they're going to design runs for the quarterback, and that's going to be a part of its package. So you got to work on it all.
Chief, Whitlow, I guess he's got over 500 rushing yards. He's out for, the next 3 or 4 weeks at least. What do you expect from their running game without their leading rusher?
I don't think they'll change anything. They got two backs that, not quite as big as their starter, but probably faster. So it'll be a little bit different. With a little bit more speed in the backfield. Maybe not quite as physical. Maybe it will be. But they're not going to change their offense because he's not there. I guarantee you, it's nothing more than the next man up. He's got playmakers that he wants to get the ball in their hands, and that's what we're going to see.
Do you think the time the defense spent on the field in the second half played a role in they had a pretty big fourth quarter?
Well, the big fourth quarter came, like I said, with that last drive, and with a play that we were didn't have great communications on the play, and we left one end of the field open, and when that happens, all that's on me. But that was you take those 2 plays. And again, when you're talking about 2 plays, usually you're talking about, losing a football game. But those 2 plays accounted for more than 100 yards. So, it's not no. The answer to your question, and I could have just said that, no, our kids competed, we shouldn't have give up that last long run when we went out there in the last drive. But those 2 plays, that was 100 yards in the fourth quarter. And, and I don't think it had anything to do with being tired.
Coach, I'm not saying anybody's pointing fingers or splintering or anything, but sometimes when things aren't going your way, that tends to happen. What is the protocol for you guys to make sure to stay out in front of that, to keep these guys together and fighting?
Well, we got to grow together, and we got to be a family, and we take a lot of pride in talking about that and being that. And if we what we talk about being, then we're not going to have to worry about that. It's not going to splinter. We're going to stay together. And I talk to my guys about it often. Let me just say this: there's times in life that if you want to quit and give up, you're not going to make it. You're not going to make it. And our guys will not quit, and they will not give up.
Thanks, Chief.
Thank you, guys.